You're tuned into All Too Real 2. Be sure to subscribe, download, share the show with a friend, and stop by alltooreal2.com for our social links, Patreon, and TeePublic store info.
Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Fergal.
And we're from Movie Smash.
Comic book movies are having a golden age right now with the MCU.
Movies based on comics aren't necessarily a new thing, but they're a big thing.
Join us every other Tuesday on Movie Smash.
We explore these movies and find some hidden gems.
Every other week, we revisit some of the best.
And some of the worst movies based on comics or graphic novels.
Was Green Lantern as bad as you remember?
Heck no!
Is Time Cop the most accurate time travel movie ever created?
Absolutely.
Was Mystery Men way ahead of its time?
Should they be revisited? Should they be forgotten?
Join us on Movie Smash and find out. Listen wherever you find your fine podcasts.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All Too Real 2. My name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me, as always, is
Sesame, get the loon. I will not die sober. Encarta.
It's a great name.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, dying sober is an option.
I guess. I mean, yeah, if you want to be a nerd.
Dying, you know what? It would be even better if you could just not die.
Now that would be cool. Who knows? They might make the technology soon, and we'll all just be slaves for life. And we'll be immortal, but we won't really have a good life. They'll just keep us working until we don't die. So, and then we'll be ruled over by technocrats who spend all of their days going on social media making dumb jokes instead of spending the billions of dollars they make actually doing cool shit, like this guy, who also did a bunch of cool shit and bad shit with his money, not even close to billions of dollars though. And if anything, he actually worked for his money. I mean, he did horrible things, but it took effort to do what he was doing. So that's kind of said something, because nowadays you don't need to do any effort. All you need to do is like call someone the N-word and then like play victim, and then like people give you like $500,000 for it. So it's like a little bit different time and culture that we live in than back then.
Yeah, that happens. I mean, the world is great.
It's awesome.
The world is a vampire sent to drain. Never truer words ever spoken.
Speaking of which, Billy Corgan's kind of an asshole, too. But
yeah. Sometimes he is, sometimes he's not.
Sometimes he is, sometimes he's not. I guess it depends on what mood you get him in.
Yeah. Saw a picture of him recently wearing a Toledo Mud Hens hat.
That's cool.
Yeah, but like the post that he had up, he was like at some kind of like arcade with his kid, and he was kind of complaining about being there. But he was wearing a Toledo Mud Hens hat in the image.
Wow.
But I think it was just basically he wasn't complaining about being with his kid. He was complaining about being at the arcade.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
But that's okay, because he wrote some of the most formative songs in my youth. Yes, 1979.
Good one.
Yep.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Yep. So today on the show, speaking of horrible people, and debauchery and taking advantage of people, we are covering the film The Wolf of Wall Street in our based on a true story sort of review here.
They're old school.
Going old school, all too real.
Yeah, the very first one when we just did a biography film, so we're kind of doing that a little bit.
Yes. This movie came out in 2013. It was directed by Martin Scorsese. The Internet Movie Database logline here for it is based on the true story of Jordan Belfort, from his rise to a wealthy stockbroker living the high life to his fall involving crime, corruption, and the federal government.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was directed by Martin Scorsese. I'm not going to go over his who he is, because most people know who he is. He's only one of the most well-known filmmakers of all time. It was written by Terrence Winter, who is also known for being a producer on The Sopranos and Boardwalk Empire. He wrote Get Rich or Die Trying. He was a co-producer of Sister Sister with Tina and Tamara Mowry.
Right.
Yeah, so they're all kind of the same thing.
You you go like down to like the metaphor, you could totally see how it's the same.
There was that episode there was an episode where the twins decided to, bilk a bunch of old people out of their money and stuff. Yeah.
I think that was episode 20 of season 2. And I'm just making don't want to get accused of just false information, but
and it's based on the book by Jordan Belfort. Mm-hmm. Yes, and this film stars Leonardo DiCaprio as Jordan Belfort, Jonah Hill as Donnie Azoff, Margot Robbie is the made up name Naomi Lapaglia, based on Jordan Belfort's real wife, who was named something else. Matthew McConaughey as Mark Hanna. Kyle Chandler. I almost said Chandler. Kyle Chandler is Agent Patrick Denham, based on a real FBI agent, not named that. Rob Reiner is Max Belfort. Jon Bernthal as Brad, based on somebody that's not named Brad. Jon Favreau is Manny Riskin, and others. Yeah. Joanna Lumley is Aunt Emma. Cristin Milioti is Teresa Petrillo, who is not really named that, but based on Jordan Belfort's first wife. So yeah, we got a bunch of other people in this, like PG Byrne and PG Byrne, PJ. I keep saying PJ Byrne.
Wow.
Kenneth Choi and others. Like I said, this is the story of Jordan Belfort, his rise and fall.
Yeah.
Yes. So what's your thoughts on this movie?
Love it.
Yep.
Always been one of my favorites since it came out in 2013. I've seen this, at least a dozen times. It's a long movie, so I can't watch it a lot, but I'd say about 12, 15 times, including the 2 times I've watched it in the last week.
Mm-hmm. I like it a lot. It's probably one of my favorite Scorsese films. My favorite is Goodfellas.
Yeah. Really
and this is very much kind of like Goodfellas in a lot of ways. It's a very similar style of film. Yeah. The way it's told and everything. It's kind of like if you like Goodfellas, you might like this movie, or vice versa. A lot of people hate Goodfellas, though. It's just weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've run into a lot of filmmakers that just don't like the movie for some reason, and I'm like, I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, even some people I really like one of my good friends, Gabe, who's a filmmaker, he hates Goodfellas. So, yeah. I can't remember what he said Scorsese's best film is, but he doesn't like Goodfellas. So, yeah. And I mean, I like Scorsese. I think he's a little overrated sometimes, but he's still good. It's like, sometimes it's like, a little much. I watched one of his early films the other day. It's about 6 minutes long, and it's called It's called The Big Shave.
Yeah.
And it's just a video of a guy going to his bathroom and shaving with a razor, like lathering up with, shaving cream and everything, and then shaving, and eventually he's just bleeding all over.
There you go. That's the whole movie.
Yep. That's the whole thing.
It reminds me, I really want to watch this movie with you. Now I can. It's right, because now I got a thing that can translate audio from different languages, and it's a French film, so I now finally might be able to do it. It's called Adrenaline.
Yeah,
and it's just a bunch of different short films within a larger film, and one of the scenes is literally just of a guy getting punched with punching gloves, and just over and over and over again until his face is literally just like a meat patty, and that's like the entire scene. It's just like 4 minutes of that. So it kind of reminds me.
Okay.
That's the whole scene. That's literally the entire scene. There's a lot of other ones that are really, really creepy. I think I showed you one once before where these couple is watching like the news, and then like the government is like doing like a report against them, and they're like pointing at the TV, and they're like getting like screaming really angrily and stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting films out there. But anyways, back to Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah,
I do like the movie a lot. It's one of those movies that I've seen a lot, but now I can't watch it as much as I used to, because I kind of just I don't know if it's my perspective on life or what it is, but it's just like the debauchery of it gets to me, and I have to take breaks.
Yeah, no, totally. And it's really super long too. I can't really watch it.
I mean, it's 3 hours long.
Yeah, it's pretty damn long. Yeah, I know what you mean about the debauchery stuff. It's a little bit it's okay for a little bit, but it's like I think way too many sexual scenes. It's like we get the point. Like, you don't need to drive home the point that much for people to understand it. I think like reduced it by about 50%, and I think it would have been okay. But whatever. Yeah, and it's not just the sexual stuff too. It's like the drugs, throwing little people and bullseyes and just treating them like they're not humans, and like having a full on conversation about them when they kept referring to little people as it. I didn't really like that too much. Talking about how they could throw them like it's like this whole detail of like how they're going to use little people at their party by the end of the week, and like literally just having like a group meeting, like, and that's the whole thing. It's just about like what. Yeah, I didn't like that scene at all.
What ended up happening, too, is all they ever did was talk about this stuff. They did have little people at some of their parties and stuff, but they never did what they showed in the movie. So
no, they only had that one scene in the very beginning. Yeah, no, that was supposed to be like
in reality, that never happened. So
okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, all they did was ever discuss possibly doing that stuff. They never actually did it.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff is exaggerated, but I understand.
Yeah, I mean, it's a movie. It's not going to be. And plus, too, it's based off of Jordan Belfort's own autobiography. So take that with a grain of salt as well, because he's obviously known for tall tales and things like that. So you're getting a movie that's secondhand of a secondhand, you know what I mean? So, but it's still a good movie. Don't get me wrong. I mean, like,
he'll be ever called the Wolf of Wall Street either. So
he was never called that.
No, he called himself that. So.
Did he refer to himself as that, or was it just
the book? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he was like his own nickname. Okay, great. That he gave himself. That's not pathetic. He is an interesting dude, though. I watched some interviews with him talking about like Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. He's basically, I think he basically says like Bitcoin's basically a scam. He's like, I know what a scam is because that's what my whole living was for a long time. It's like,
it's like according to historyversushollywood.com, Jordan Belfort, was he really known as the Wolf of Wall Street? No, at least not according to the former co-founder and president of Stratton Oakmont brokerage firm, Danny Porish, who is named Donnie in the movie.
Why did they change it like that? I mean, it's like...
Danny and other people threatened to sue if their names were used in the movie.
Okay, but Donnie is like so close to Danny. It's like,
I know.
It's probably just like a fuck you. Like, okay, we changed the name a little bit.
The real Porish says that he is not aware of anyone at the firm calling Jordan the Wolf. Porish says that it's just one of the number of exaggerations and inventions in both Belfort's book and the movie. So yeah. So but the thing is, Danny Porish actually did marry his cousin, but anyway, so
I figured that part wouldn't be made up because it's such like a very specific thing. You know what I mean? Like it's a weird thing to lie about.
In reality, he married his first cousin and had 3 kids with her.
So was that legal in New York at the time, or Long Island, or wherever they were from?
I don't know if it's illegal, period.
I mean, I guess it would have to be legal because, I mean, he had kids and stuff. I
don't know if there's anywhere that it's illegal.
Probably not, no. Well, I think second cousin in some states, maybe, but it's not a well-practiced thing.
Yeah, I mean, my cousin married his second cousin. So,
Biologically speaking, though, there's not much of a chance for like birth defects and stuff like that when it comes to second and third cousins. The only reason why I know this is because of watching the Community episode that's all about Garrett marrying his second cousin.
Yeah, but this is his first cousin. Like,
that's what I'm saying. There is a much greater chance of like some kind of like physical deformities or like maybe like a mental like cognitive issue or whatever. But I do love his justification for that was that quote in the movie, my cousin grew up hot. And so all my friends were trying to fuck her and I wasn't going to let anyone fuck her. So if anyone was going to fuck my cousin, it would be me out of respect. That's a verbatim quote from the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, respect,
Yeah. I guess the legality of marrying
she was pretty hot though in the movie. Yeah. So
the legality of marrying your cousin varies by state. It is legal in 18 states with 32 states 32 states prohibit it or have restrictions. Even in states where it is legal, the practice is not very common, according to Wikipedia.
I would think not.
Yeah. This isn't states where cousins can legally marry. New York is listed.
So New York is one of the ones you can't. Okay, so. Yeah. You technically Long Island is part of New York, right?
Yeah, it's where you can. So yeah.
All right.
So first cousin marriage is completely legal in New York.
That's fucking weird, man. Like, that's okay. I mean, that's
because you've got what's it like in Ohio? States where cousin marriage is prohibited, you can't in Ohio. So yeah,
that's kind of funny because Ohio is more of like you would think like that would be a state where it would be allowed because of a bunch of stuff like that, but like.
It's also interesting too. Kentucky, you can't, and a lot of times people are talking about like Hicks in Kentucky and stuff like
a stereotype thing. Yeah, I think it's what it is. It's kind of just meant to be like calling them backwards and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But it's weird though, because sometimes you'll find something like really odd, like. I think, for example, California has like stricter laws too about like sex and stuff like that. But like all these Republicans like, oh, California is that liberal left-wing state and all this kind of stuff. I think their laws are actually even more strict than like some of the right-wing states are. But it's just funny when people use this stuff as like political fodder. They're like, oh yeah, well, it's just like, okay, like come on, like shut up, like let's just like be normal people for like a minute. But anyway, so now I know that's interesting that you could apparently marry your first cousin in the state of New York. All right, that's new information.
Okay. I think I can figure out is my I know my cousin married his second cousin. I wonder if there's got to be, maybe that's legal, but I don't know. But that was
no idea. We should just doing a big episode just talking about the legality of different forms of incest, just like in that community episode, just like the whole episode.
Let's start a podcast all to incest. No, we're not.
No.
So back to other interesting things in this movie.
Yeah, for some reason, we phoned in on the incest part. It's like nothing to do with the movie itself. Like one scene.
I just always thought it was so weird when he said that in the movie, and then I was like,
I know. I thought that too. I'm like, oh man. But right after that, he gives a present to Jordan to smoke crack. Anyway, we're kind of going off.
Yeah, so we don't have to go in order on this because it's kind of a thing. I mean, we can talk more about like what's real and what's not in the movie too, if you want. I've got some of the things from History versus Hollywood. So
yeah, we do that too. I mean, I don't know too much about the real truth, but there are some scenes that just stand out that I would like to talk about, but definitely not really chronological. They're just like. So
one of the things here is, did Jordan Belfort really abuse cocaine and other drugs? Yes.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. He did. He snorted cocaine off a prostitute's backside and nearly crashing his private helicopter while high on a cocktail of prescription drugs, including Quaaludes, morphine, and Xanax.
I would love to try Quaaludes. They don't make them anymore. You can't. Ever since I heard about from this movie, I'm craving. Like if I I'm not a drug guy. I'm really not. Yeah. But if someone offered me a Quaalude, I'm taking it. Like there's no argument. I'm doing it. Like I want to know what it's like. But yeah, they don't make them anymore, unfortunately, because people were cool and they used it in a cool way. And, the government's like, no, you can't enjoy your drugs. Sorry. So now we're going to make it a Schedule 1 drug.
The views of Sesame are not necessarily the views.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, me personally, if there was ever a moment in history and it was fine by the law for whatever reason, and someone's like, hey, do you want to try Quaalude? I got some from like 1975. I'm doing it. I don't care. I'm going to try it. I mean, it might not be as potent anymore because it's like 50 years old, but like, yeah. And he's the same way, by the way, because there was an interview. He's been sober for like 30 years. And like they asked him, he's like, he's like, if someone, I would definitely take it. Like I've been sober for 30 years, but if someone were to give me a Quaalude, I'm taking it. Doesn't mean I'll keep taking it, but I'll definitely take it that one time. But yeah, everything I've heard about it, now we're focusing in on the Quaalude. So now incest and Quaaludes are apparently the main focus of this episode.
Welcome to Incest and Quaaludes. Our new podcast.
Yes.
We're incest and Quaaludes. That's it. Nothing else.
I'm definitely going to write that. That's going to be a song title, Incest and Quaaludes.
Oh, God.
Punk band. That would be a great punk band name.
Yeah.
Incest and Quaaludes. Come on. Like that's.
Oh, yeah.
That's like either a name or like a song or like an album title.
I'm sure that was a band that played at CBGB's back in the 70s.
Oh, absolutely. Back when you could just get them like candy. Yeah, I'm sure.
What scenes did you want to focus on? We can talk more about the trivia here in a minute, but yeah.
Well, they're just like a few ones that I really like the one where with Matthew McConaughey is one scene in the entire movie. He like pretty much sets the tone for the rest of the movie. Just one like 5-minute long scene when he's just taking Jordan under his wing, so to speak, and just coming up how to get rich in Wall Street, literally saying, fuck the clients, who cares? We don't really give a shit about them. We just want to make money off of them. So that was his introduction into the business, or well.
Interesting thing.
He was kind of nice before that, and then a guy kind of corrupted them pretty quickly. And then,
it was kind of like a switch. That scene, they were shot the second week of filming. The chest beating and humming performed by him was improvised. It was a warm up right that McConaughey performs before acting to get himself in the mood for acting.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's not even cool. Yeah, it was improvised by McConaughey, and Leonardo DiCaprio saw him doing it and asked Scorsese if he could put it in the film. So
that's so fucking. I love that scene, and that thing comes out later in the movie as well, like near the end. And but yeah, he just basically telling Jordan like, don't give a shit about the clients, like don't let them sell their trades for profit, and just keep telling them, oh, there's this new stock I came up with, or and just reinvesting their earnings because they get paid a commission every single time they sell, a stock to someone. And so he's literally just telling him, like, don't let them sell, just like, like they'll get rich on paper, but like, don't let them actually take their money out, because then that would actually make it real. And they don't make anything. They don't build it. Very honest description of the stock market, by the way. I mean, he's corrupt, but he's telling the truth. They don't build anything. There's no literally money does not exist. It just doesn't. It's nothing. Like
that's why crypto is one of the worst things I think that's ever come along too right now with that shit, where people are just crypto and I don't know, and all that other bullshit. But what's the thing where you can NFTs and stuff like that?
NFTs. I read about that before that became popular too. I mean, I didn't really. I
mean, it's just like it's bullshit. You can sell a picture of an ape and you can become a millionaire. It's like, and then you've got people that are in office that are. The thing is you can't trace the crypto shit. So you've got the president making billions of dollars off of crypto, but we don't know for sure how much he's making because of it. It's just bullshit, and it's fucking up our country and our world. Anyways, so that's how I really feel.
I mean, you could almost like do a direct trace from this Jordan Belfort style of investing and the Bitcoin, because they operate on the same mentality. Now, what Jordan was doing at first when he was working at the Rothschild, whatever bank, a firm, I don't know what you would call it. It was legal. It was very unethical, but technically what they were doing was legal, because they weren't like, as long as you don't tell the person that they're definitely going to make money from this, you're not breaking the law, because you're not making a promise to them.
Yeah.
Or you could say stuff like, this could quadruple your earnings. This could, you could say things. I mean, it's unethical, but you're not breaking any laws. But once the Rothschild, the firm shut down like a month after he started working there. And then he applied for a job, at least in the movie, he applied for a job at this like really shady investment thing, like in a strip mall. And they just trade off these things called the pink sheets. Now you can do it online, but back then you actually had to literally order these pink sheets or call, a broker who would be willing to sell these. And they're usually the shady brokers. Like you wouldn't be able to go to like a real investment firm and say like, I want to invest in something that's like 2 cents a share. Like, and they're like, no, I'm not gonna let you do that. But like, you go to like one of these shady things and they'd be like, oh yeah, awesome. Go ahead and just, buy as many if you want this bullshit stock. And so the guy who was there, he's kind of just telling them, how we do things, and that he gets 50% commission every time he sells anything. And he was making 1% commission, which is not that lot of money to think about it. Like if you think about how much, like we kind of like to imagine like stockbrokers being super rich. Well, 1% is like nothing. Like
it was selling bigger money though. That's the problem. Like if you're doing stocks, you're making more of a percentage, but you're selling less. So I guess it kind of is supposed to even out, but it's still kind of weird, you know?
It's supposed to even out. But yeah, but the difference is that the clients and the big firm actually make money from their investments because they're investing in actual real stuff.
They're investing in you're investing in something like Apple or something that actually will make money as opposed to, Joe's Crab Shack or something, Joe's Crab Shack was actually a restaurant chain. I'm sorry, I was just making something up, but Joe's.
Right, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, wait, it's an actual company.
That might have made you money, but yeah.
I mean, if you owned it, yeah. Excuse me, but I had actually did this once in like 2016, something like that. Just on the lark, I invested like $10 into some like useless penny stock. I didn't think was going to go anywhere, but it potentially could have. And this thing, I was tracking this thing in real time, but I was also at work, so I couldn't do it all the time. This thing jumped like 120% within like the 10 minutes that I was like having to work on the project and I couldn't get to it, and then it like dropped back. So like if I had sold within that time frame, I would have made like an extra $20 or whatever. But that's literally how volatile these stocks are, though. Like watching them
gambling is basically all it is, in my opinion. It's gambling. It's
a form of gambling. It is. It's you have a little bit more control over it, and a little. I mean, like a little more control, not much. And that's how. But like most people, like there are people who do trade penny stocks, but they are like watching it like all day long. Like they don't just like throw in their money and then they go off and do whatever. Like they are literally like all day long. Like they'll sell it at a certain. So it's like a job for them basically. Like the most people though who buy penny stocks aren't doing that. They're just putting their money in there and hoping that's going to make them a bunch of money. Like they're not staring at computer screens all day. And you got to be really smart mathematically too to actually know how to trade penny stocks, because again, because they're so volatile, you have to be pretty good at math or pretty good at predicting patterns and stuff like that. So, if you do know what you're doing, you could actually make a lot of money trading penny stocks. But like if you're just like a regular dude, probably not going to make anything. Yeah. But like that was what he started doing. Then he started making a bunch of money selling these worthless stocks to Postman. That was what was his boss. There's always Postman selling. I was going to make a song title once called Selling Penny Stocks to Postman. Still haven't written it yet, but it's a good song title. And he was making at one point $72,000 a month, according to the movie. And that's when he meets Donnie for the first time. And he's like, if you show me a pay stub for $72,000, I'll quit my job right now and I'll work for you. Yeah. He just like hired himself essentially. Like he wasn't even saying he was looking for like workers or he's just like.
Yeah. In reality, where is it? They basically the wives introduced them to each other or something. So
like in real life.
Yeah,
that makes sense. I mean,
it was like I had it a second ago, but I lost
cousin wife and
it's like I think his cousin wife and
his wife or his Watson. I don't know.
We'll just call it cousin wife.
Cousin wife sounds fine. I mean, not. I mean, like, it doesn't sound fine, but the word for our purposes. No, let's not get back onto the cousin thing because it starts going off the rails again.
We're not going to talk about cousin wives anymore.
Or Quaaludes. Yeah. No cousin wives or Quaaludes anymore in the conversation.
So, they that's not how they met. But anyways, we talk about, they start getting into drugs and stuff in this movie and everything. A little bit of trivia here. What they were actually snorting was crushed up B vitamins.
Okay.
That was made to look like cocaine. That's what they were all snorting when they filmed the movie.
Is that like too much though? B vitamins? Wouldn't that hurt them if they're doing that too much? Or
so funny you mentioned that. Jonah Hill claimed that he eventually became sick with bronchitis after so much inhaling and had to be hospitalized.
Yeah, because you're snorting anything. You're snorting anything. It's gonna fuck up your nasal cavity, and then your throat's connected to your,
I remember watching an interview with DiCaprio, and he was talking about it, and he says they would actually get so hyped up because B vitamins gives you energy.
Right. Yeah.
So it was almost like they really were on cocaine.
Well, the thing is, your body can mimic drugs, and depending on what you like. For example, like there's a thing called a runner's high. If a person runs for a real long time, and they will have a similar high to a drug, but it's much cleaner. And you don't have like a hangover afterwards. Same thing too with like really long, prolonged sessions of meditation. Now I'm really going off the rails here just for a moment. We know one of the guys who discovered acid. I think there was like two guys in America. I mean, the original guy was like German or Swiss, I think. But like in America, I think there was like two main dudes. One of them, he went to pursue, drugs and things like that, how acid could like affect the brain.
We're talking like LSD.
LSD, sorry, yeah.
Talking about like
what's that?
You talking about like Timothy Leary or?
No, it's just someone else. There was another guy who went the opposite way, where he went to more like meditation route or whatever, and so or maybe it's MDMA. Maybe I'm mixing up too. But he went the other route where he wanted to do an experiment to see if the human body could get high based off breathing techniques alone and not take any drugs. And so he just took these people, his very first control group, I guess you could call it, and they would go out to the beach, because it's California, Malibu or something like that, and they would do these really fast breathing exercises for like 6 straight hours. I'm talking like really like that kind of breathing. And then like when they got to like this 4 or 5 hour mark, like some of these people legitimately started freaking out like they were on like acid. So like your body can literally make you high if you like do certain things without actually taking drugs. I don't know why I just thought about that, but
because LSD was created by Albert Hofmann, who was a Swiss chemist.
It was by accident too. He was trying to make something else. Like he was trying to make like something to do with like yeast infections or something.
Yeah, it was Hoffman ingested LSD. It was an accidental discovery. He synthesized LSD in 1938 while working. He aimed to create a respiratory stimulant, and he created LSD by mistake. Yeah,
because of the ergot, I think was one of the fungi he was working on or something like that. And then interesting stuff. Anyway, it's good to know that they were storing vitamin B.
Yeah, they. It's interesting. So other little trivia here that we can get into if you want to.
Sure.
A female employee really let them shave her head for $10,000 to pay for breast implants, and yes, that did happen.
Oh my God, of course.
Yes. Was Jordan Belfort's Quaalude dealer named Brad in the movie, based on a real person. It says, yes, the character in the movie, Brad Bodnick, who has a goatee and is portrayed by Jon Bernthal, is based on Jordan Belfort's real-life Quaalude dealer, Todd Garrett. In his memoir, Jordan claims that Garrett sold him approximately 10,000 Quaaludes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Throughout his life, I mean, basically, like, wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of Quaaludes.
Yeah, it says there was never a chimpanzee in the office.
Oh, I forgot about that part. That was just like a small part, too.
Yeah, he did crash his helicopter in his yard. He said he was flying his private helicopter while high on Quaaludes and nearly crashed it in his yard. Yeah, he also didn't have a pilot's license. So
I mean, I didn't think he did, but I mean, I figured in the movie it looked like he was like training, so like maybe that was okay, but you're not supposed to be high. No. Right in a helicopter.
And he was actually arrested for crashing. He crashed a car while high on expired Quaaludes. But according to Belfort, the car wasn't a Lamborghini like in the movie. It was actually a Mercedes.
Okay. And they're weird because in the movie he said Ferrari, but then it was actually a Lamborghini. I'm like, okay. Yeah. Why would you do that? Whatever. But I think they just got mixed up on the type, or maybe that was a later car. Maybe he bought another car. It's a white Lamborghini. God, I can't.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if he had a DeLorean, though. He can go back in time and buy more Quaaludes, so he can just like stock them up.
DeLoreans were horrible cars.
I know. But it was really cool looking in the. There's a really interesting documentary series about that on Netflix, by the way, too.
I've watched it.
It's really interesting.
Yeah. Did Danny Porsche really swallow a goldfish? Yes.
Oh no, gross.
So I did read in the movie they actually had somebody from PETA on set while they were doing that scene
to make sure that he didn't actually swallow like a real fish.
Yeah, basically what they did, Jonah Hill put the goldfish in his mouth for a couple seconds and took it out, and they put it back in the bowl.
Yeah.
Did they really take money to a woman's body in one scene? No, that never happened.
That was Brad's wife, the Celine.
It's in the scene of Wall Street. Danny Porsche says, I never taped money to boobs. The real Danny Porsche says, according to Belfort's member, the event did happen, but Porsche wasn't there. So it did happen, but Porsche wasn't there.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Interesting.
Yeah. And they really did basically kind of invest in Steve Madden and kind of fuck him over, and then he tried to fuck them over.
Well, it kind of went both ways.
Yeah.
They owned in the movie, they owned 85% of the company.
Yeah, it says, yes, as shown in The Wolf of Wall Street, Steve Madden had been a childhood friend of Belfort's partner, Danny Porsche. Their fondness for drugs and alcohol reunited the two of them. During the initial public offerings of his footwear company, Steve Madden Limited, Madden acquired a large number of shares of his company, which were actually being controlled by Belfort and his firm, Stratton Oakmont. Once shares became available to the public, Stratton Oakmont got down to business of selling them to unsuspecting suckers, billing Madden's company as the hottest issue on Wall Street. Belfort's brokers, in turn, drove up the price. Eventually, Steve Madden was to sell off his shares when the hype was at its peak just before the stock began its inevitable decline. Similar to what is seen in the movie, Belfort still maintains that Steve Madden tried to steal his Steve Madden shares from him. However, Jordan Belfort did make approximately $23 million in 2 hours as part of the deal with Steve Madden, who would later be charged as an accomplice to Belfort's scheme. Steve Madden was sentenced to 41 months in prison and was forced to resign as CEO of Steve Madden Limited. He also resigned from the company's board of directors. However, he did not leave the company entirely. He kept his foot or shoe in the door by giving himself a title of creative consultant, for which he was well compensated even while he was in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there you go. It's like this stuff is like easy money. It's like, I mean, it could corrupt anyone. Like I've thought about it a few times, it's just like doing something really stupid, like just getting on a trend before it actually happens and then make just a bunch of money. I wouldn't get to the point though where I'm like actively hyping up a stock, and because that's what pump and dump scheme. So that's like the main thing that Stratton Oakmont, his company, would do, is that they would, it's a scheme called a pump and dump. So you buy a bunch of shares of a company, like a worthless company, you buy up like 80%, it's like a huge amount, and then you get people to pump up the idea, so people start talking about it, and it gets in like the newspapers and the press, now pretty much on Twitter or X or whatever. And more people start talking, more people, so it starts thing going, people start buying the stock or the coin or token or whatever it's called. They gets pretty high or high enough. Boom. Once it gets to a certain part, the people who own 80% of the thing, they sell it, and now the people are left with a useless stock, and it's called a pump and dump. It's highly illegal, absolutely illegal. It's like go to prison for doing that shit.
And I mean, it is just fair to know that Steve Madden was founded in 1990, the company, and it's still in existence. So
I mean, I've heard of it. Yeah, I mean, I had no idea that this.
I've seen like in malls and stuff, Steve Madden stores. Like they used to be bigger than but there's right now they currently, as of 2023, have 255 locations.
Yeah, I mean,
and SteveMadden.com. The total assets. Looks like they have like $1.35 billion in sales and stuff like that, or assets. I mean, so yeah,
that's a lot of money. Yeah. And so they were there. What they did with Steve Madden was even more daring, because before they would just pick any company that they wanted to just pump up, and then they would just get the commission fee. But this time they were actively buying the shares of the company. So technically what he was doing with Investor Center was still legal, even though it's really unethical. And what he was doing was still allowed by the law. Like you're allowed to sell people shitty stocks. Like that's not against the law. As long as you don't make a promise, like an exact promise, like you're going to make money from this. If you don't say that, you're fine. Like you're still like a piece of shit, but like you're not doing anything illegal. It's when you actively start buying the shares of the company that is dog shit, and then you're pumping up that company to make it seem like it's actually good, and then you get other people to buy the stocks, and then you sell yours, that's where it gets illegal. That's why they call it, sometimes they call it a rug pull as well, because you're like pulling the rug out of other people. And sometimes it gets really fucked up because if you got so many shares, and that's the other thing too. When a company has way too many shares, like a crypto, basically, if it has too many shares, that's where it gets dicey, because like no company or no cryptocurrency or whatever should have like trillions of shares, like, because there's not that many people for one thing. And it basically makes it so that even if the people have a bunch of shares, they're worth nothing. And if the people who actually own the majority of the crypto scam sell it, you're left with like billions of shares. So it seems like you got a lot of money, but you can't sell it to anyone else because you're all in the same boat. Like you're basically be doing hot potato at that point. Like you won't go anywhere. You're basically going in a circle, like a closed system. You know what I mean? Like, and highly illegal shit. But since crypto is a little bit more, I mean, you can still track crypto if you really want to. You could track crypto, but they don't want to, obviously, because they're making money off it too. Like you said earlier. But you absolutely can. This idea that like crypto is like this like labyrinth, and it's so much more private than the banks are because of the blockchain, and no one can ever actually explain what the blockchain really is. They just say it and they like hope you get it. Like, okay, tell me, what is the blockchain? The blockchain is a blockchain. It's like, okay, you don't actually have an explanation. Got it. Because it doesn't make any sense. But their whole argument, though, is basically safety in numbers. I mean, that's what you would call it. I mean, that's the only thing that you could really describe it. Their whole thing is that since every transaction on Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency is a public transaction, then basically the law will never find you because there's billions of people. And it's like, but that doesn't make any sense, though, because there's billions of people who have bank accounts. So like, how is making your stuff public more private? Like, it doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like it's like, but that's how they try to convince themselves and other people. They try to convince like opposites. Like, no, having things public actually makes it more private because other people are doing. It's like a riot basically. It's like, since there was like 700 people in a mob, the cops might not pick out your face. What kind of argument is that? Like,
interesting thing is, so Steve Madden in the movie was played by Jake Hoffman, son of Dustin Hoffman. But he was also childhood friends with Jonah Hill. They grew up together, so just like their characters, they were childhood friends.
That's great.
Yeah. So did Jordan Belfort's yacht really sink in the Mediterranean storm? Yes, in real life, Belfort's 167-foot yacht, which was originally owned by Coco Chanel, sunk off the coast of Italy when Belfort, who was high on drugs at the time, insisted that the captain take the boat through a storm. As he states in the interview, his helicopter didn't fall off the boat during the storm like in the movie. Instead, they had to push the helicopter off the top deck of the boat to make room for the rescue chopper to drop down an Italian Navy commando.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of weird. The FBI was actually, there's the character that Kyle Chandler is playing, the real guy that it's based on, is named Gregory Coleman. They tracked him for 6 years, Belfort, until they can finally get everything,
Why did it take them so long?
Because they had to get everything, had to get proof of everything, I guess.
Oh,
yeah.
It's pretty obvious what he was doing.
I guess it wasn't as obvious.
Proof do you need? I mean, he's doing it right in the open.
I guess it wasn't as obvious to the FBI, because you don't. And then the thing with the FBI and a lot of other high profile organizations like that, they don't want to take something to trial or to negotiate with somebody unless they have rock solid proof of everything.
Right. And plus this before internet as well. So
and you don't want your case being thrown out on a technicality or something,
Right.
So did Jordan Belfort really strike his wife? Yes. He hit his he's shown in the movie hitting his wife with his hand and fist. According to his memoir, he actually kicked his wife Nadine down the stairs while he was holding his daughter. She landed on her right side with tremendous force. I've read an interview with her where she was talking about how he what they were asking her thoughts on the movie, and she says, "I'm hoping it actually shines a light on physical and emotional abuse that you can suffer in a marriage."
Right.
So yeah, but
Piece of shit.
yeah. So and he really endanger his 3-year-old daughter's life by crashing his car through the garage door. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, he put his real life daughter Chandler, who was renamed Skylar in the movie. I think it was Skylar or something. In the front seat of the car with a seatbelt on before crashing it through the garage door and then driving full speed into a 6-foot-high limestone pillar at the edge of the driveway, like in the movie. He was high at the time. Yeah. And interesting thing too to know of trivia here too is that the book was written because when he basically, so his punishment, he was finally arrested in 1998 for money laundering and securities fraud. He was sentenced to 4 years in prison. This was after agreeing to wear a wire and provide the FBI with information to help prosecute various friends and associates. Mm-hmm. In the end, the true story reveals that he served only 22 months in a California federal prison, and his cellmate was Tommy Chong of Cheech and Chong fame.
That's awesome.
Who was serving a 9-month sentence at the time for selling bongs.
Yeah.
And Tommy told him, so Tommy Chong was the one who told Jordan to write a book. So we wouldn't have Wolf of Wall Street if it wasn't for Tommy.
Yeah, exactly. We wouldn't get this movie without. That's great.
But I mean, I also want to mention that the place where he served was basically what they refer to as like Club Fed, where it's like
rich people prison. It's not.
Yeah, it's basically there was I guess tennis, basketball courts, foosball tables. Like you're basically just hanging out it was like hanging out at camp or something. It's like what the fuck.
Right. Rich people don't get punished. So not in this world.
Yeah. Danny Porish actually, it looks like served more time than Jordan Belfort.
Yeah.
Spent 39 months in prison for his part.
Oh, wow.
Whereas Belfort only spent 22 months.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's fucked up too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not saying that Porish should have got off on anything, but he did get off on his cousin. Anyway, so sorry.
Yeah. That's true.
He was I guess it looks like Porish, he currently runs a medical supply business in Florida where he lives with his second wife.
Okay.
He eventually, divorced his cousin. And but a 2008 Forbes article pointed out that his company had fraudulent tactics.
Of course.
And which including trying to pursue people to order diabetic supplies and getting them to provide information about their physicians that could be used to bill Medicare. A number of complaints surfaced accusing Porish's company of sending unsolicited packages that were accompanied by unexpected Medicare charges.
So basically Medicare fraud.
Medicare fraud, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, in 2001, he was arrested in connection to a fraud scheme surrounding Noble and Peralt Collectibles, a company that sold commemorative coins over the phone. Victims saw their credit cards charged repeatedly, at times for thousands of dollars, while often never receiving any merchandise for the purchase that were largely unauthorized to begin with. Yeah. Wow. So I guess he's currently, according to, at the time of this History versus Hollywood article, at least, he is living in Florida with his wife, and they both have matching Rolls Royces and convertibles, and Yep.
The rich are always okay, no matter what.
And his response to the movie, he says, "I really have no comment other than to say I would never try to profit from a crime I'm so remorseful for."
Oh my God.
The guy went off to commit other fraud afterwards. So what the fuck?
Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I don't know. Any other things you want to talk about in the movie?
Oh, just like a few things. Like there's the scene where the yacht,
mm-hmm.
and like there's like, they're like in the middle of this like huge storm.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, he's freaking out. Donnie's having a full-on panic attack, and Jordan keeps trying to get his attention. And he's like, "What?" He's like, "Get the lewds. I will not die sober. Get the lewds." What a cool echo effect I got in the machine here. I wanted to take advantage of it.
Yes.
Much like how Donnie took advantage of his cousin. But anyway, Jordan took advantage of the Quaaludes and, all that jazz. But he's like, I will not die sober. I want to get high if I'm going to die. Well, that rhymed. That's another trivia thing. Did that plane actually get exploded that when I was going to pick them up from the accident before the Italians got there?
Yes, but it was a different day.
Oh, okay.
And Jordan didn't see it happen. So
these poor people died trying to save this rich asshole. Like, fuck you, man. Like,
yeah.
I hate these people. I hate these people so much, man. I mean, it's not just that they get rich. I mean, that's also, they're fucking people over by getting rich, but it's just like the debauchery and this total.
I will say for his part, all the money that he's made from the book and the movie, Jordan has been, I don't know if it's because he's court ordered to or what, but any income he's had from that is going to the victims.
All right. Well, at least maybe he has. I mean, he's been sober for 30 years, so maybe he has changed somewhat a little bit.
He is a motivational speaker now, so I mean,
that was the whole. Oh yeah, there's that scene when he's first trying to get his buddies to join him, his new scam company, and he's like, he really wanted Brad to be the guy because Brad's the one that's like no bullshit and like actually a normal person outside of selling food. He's like, sell me this pen. Nobody else knows how to do it, and because that's kind of the thing. A lot of people assume that you got to do like this really complicated thing, like selling this almost like this weird code or whatever. And so Brad's like, oh, you want go write your name down on the napkin. He's like, I don't have a pen. He's like, yeah, there you go. It's like supply and demand. There you go. Yes. Like everyone else, because a lot of people they assume that like there's got to be this weird secret code, and it's like, and they're working backwards, going towards the beginning essentially, where it's just, oh, a pen, oh, write your name, because nobody would really think it would be that easy of an answer. Basically, in the movie, at least, that's what he does. I don't know if he does that in his real seminars or not, but
So there's also the movie. Have you ever seen the movie Boiler Room? It was released in 2000. So it was inspired by the illegal practices of Jordan Belfort's Stratton Oakmont firm. It's a fictional movie, but it stars Ben Affleck, and I think he plays a character named Jim Young, who's kind of a Belfort type character.
Yeah.
Giovanni Ribisi's in the movie too. Some other people. It's a really good movie. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you might like that. Other people too. If you like this movie, you might like that movie. It's fictional, but it's kind of the same sort of thing. It's what they call a boiler room where they're doing this bullshit.
Right.
Yeah. So any other thoughts or anything about this before we wrap things up?
No, I'm good. Just don't take Quaaludes, kids, even if you can find them. And if you do find one, then maybe you can give me some. I'll pay you. And don't marry your cousin, even if it is legal. Just don't do it. Don't marry your cousin. That's a more yellow type of message, right?
Again, the statements of Sesame about Quaaludes are not necessarily the thoughts of alltooreal2.com.
Yes, they are. Give me your Quaaludes. Sorry.
So, thanks for listening. Be sure to go to alltooreal2.com and check out our social media. Check out our TeePublic there, where you can get some, merchandise. Maybe we'll do some Wolf of Wall Street merchandise or something. I don't know.
That'd be awesome.
Check out our Patreon there. You can join at different tiers and help us out. So I don't, have tears. Join at a tier so I don't have tears.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
And, be sure to rate the show wherever you can. You can give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast or Spotify. Comment below the episode wherever you can, like on YouTube or on Spotify. Share the show with your friends, here, do some cold calling like they did in this movie.
Yeah, do a cold call.
Yeah, just call up people and try to sell the show to them,
Try to make 500 calls a day and do that.
Yeah. I mean, we won't be able to pay you to do this or anything, but just do it. We won't give you any 50% commission or anything from any.
I mean, we don't have, but I will tell you, if our fans if our fans do what's the word? If our fans come quick, not come quick. What's the word? God damn, I can't think. If our fans do the good, I'm like dementia here. If our fan, not friends, I guess our fans are our friends. If our fans are able to do what I want them to do, I'll pay you in Quaaludes. No, not really.
No.
No.
Oh.
No, just kidding. No, or I'll let you marry your cousin. No, not really.
Yeah.
No.
You really don't have a say in that, depending on which one of the states they live in. There's 18 that they can do it in, though.
All say in the world. No, that. I don't know what I'm talking about.
So thank you for listening to Incest and Quaaludes. And
thank you for our new podcast. It's such a good name.
Yes, just, be good to each other, people. Be different, be yourself. Trans lives are human lives.
Yep.
Fuck Trump, fuck ICE. Free Palestine.
Yep. Do it.
No human is illegal.
Nope.
And just remember that I love you. Quaaludes are bad. So is marrying your cousin.
Yeah.
And until next time, remember that Sesame loves you too. I almost skipped telling people that you love them. So just don't forget that, though. Because, but until next time, bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to All Too Real 2 podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.